This morning's gospel reading from Mark is challenging. It is sometimes referred to as the little apocalypse. In the year 70 of the Common Era, the Romans did indeed destroy the temple. For Jesus, the temple was a problem. The temple organization was exploiting the poor, and it encouraged a religiosity that was inauthentic and primarily focused on self and not love. For Mark, things can be difficult, but the end is still some way off. There will be wars and rumors of wars. There will be earthquakes, even famines. But this is all the beginning of the birth pangs. This is just start. Some Christians love predicting the end. It has been a preoccupation for centuries. Jesus invites us to take the long view. The end might often look imminent, but it still might be some way off. The most important idea is that we recognize how short-lived the most enduring human achievement is. Even a massive temple with large stones can be here one day and gone the next. I recently read a modern day story titled A Burning Mountain of Good Intentions. It was quite an eye-opener for me. The story pertains to Mark's gospel that all will be here today and gone tomorrow. A mountain towers over a beach 25 miles from the city of Accra in Ghana. Though it's only a 20-minute climb to the summit, it's a treacherous hike. The mountain is wreathed in black smoke from the fires that constantly burn on its slopes. It's not a mountain of rock and wood. It's a mountain of old clothes, our clothes. Designer label jeans, sneakers, jackets, T-shirts cover the ground. A dress that might have been worn a few times burns next to garbage and debris. We seldom think about what happens to the old clothes that we donate to charity. We give the clothes we no longer wear, thinking they'll have a second life with someone who needs them. Most of the time, however, it ends up in landfills, like the burning refuse site at Capone near the Ghanaian coast. Every year, the United States exports more than 1 billion pounds of used clothing, more than the world's secondhand clothing markets in undeveloped nations can ever hope to use. More than 40% of the clothes that you and I donate ends up in burning mountains of trash near African cities. The mountain is a living sign of senseless American consumerism. We Americans buy 5 times more clothes than we actually wear. On average, we wear an article of clothing 7 times before we dispose of it. Our addiction to the latest has led to fast fashion, clothing that is overproduced quickly and cheaply to keep up the constantly changed trends. And the most fast fashion ends up in places thousands of miles away, like the Capone landfill, where it will burn, creating noxious chemicals that people will breathe, and that will pollute water sources, leading to outbreaks of cholera. Mount Designer Label is a sign that we cannot buy our way out of sustainability. We need to rethink what we buy and why we buy. Our good intentions are contributing to an environmental disaster. The signs around us. We face economic and environmental disasters of our own making that call for the wisdom and foresight of God's vision. The catastrophic images in today's gospel challenges us to think and act for the common good and not our personal or national interest alone. So how does the story that I just shared tied into our current stewardship program titled Every Perfect Gift? During our long COVID-19 absence from our church building, many of us learned how our faith is often tied to this building in which we worship. It took the way we worship to topple into a heap of rubble for us to think about the role our building plays in our worship life. Zoom was helpful, but we missed gathering and worshiping together right here in this building. Often stewardship campaigns speak of the need to maintain our buildings. Over the years, I've heard parishioners say, I don't pledge because I don't want my money to go to fixing the building. I want my money to go to missions. Hopefully, what COVID taught us is what motivates our work in the mission field. When doing the work of the gospel, it's glorious to have a place to gather and worship in thanksgiving. It's also important to open the doors outward as we creatively serve the needs of others. Our stewardship campaign ends next Sunday, November 21st. Pledge cards for 2022 are placed in the box at the back of the sanctuary. It's there now, and will be brought up and placed on the altar. Our pledges will be blessed as our commitment to God and His church. Just want to add something else here. I'm not so sure how many of you really know that those envelopes never get open. When you pledge, it's between you and God. It's a symbolic thing that we're doing. What's important with your pledge is the envelope that you put it in, because on the outside, it says, I have a pledge number, or I don't have one and I need one, or you would like a pledge box. I'm not sure everybody understands how that works, but it's been going on here at St. Patrick's for many, many years. The treasurer takes a look at what has happened in the previous year, and with the help of the computer, comes up with a budget for the coming year. We are very blessed here. We have a budget that is not in debt. Despite COVID, despite all that has gone on, you all have given. And so I just want you to know, and especially those of you who may be new for the first time here at St. Patrick's and haven't experienced our pledge program before, we don't put a lot of pressure on people because we're not just giving money, we're giving our time, we're giving our talents, and the mission outwork of this church is phenomenal. Last week, we passed out the sheet of what we're going to do for the holidays. And as I looked over the pews this morning, that pew in the back there and the grocery cart, it's already starting to bulge with your donations. And so God bless you all. And if you haven't already bought your pledge card, please do so next week. If for some reason you've lost it, just fill out a piece of paper. It's between you and God. And then on the outside envelope that's sealed, make sure you indicate whether you need a pledge box or just a number. Following our worship service next Sunday, we will enjoy God's bountiful harvest in the form of a Thanksgiving potluck. All are welcome to enjoy in this festive occasion. Again, sign up is out there and suggestions as to what is needed. So we invite you to sign up if you haven't already done so. Thank you for all your contributions to St. Patrick's. Thank you for your time, your treasure, your talents that will lead us into continuing God's work in the year 2022. Let us pray.